I'm not comfortable talking about myself or my childhood, but I'm gonna talk about what it's like to be born from a single mom. And it sucks to be born from a single mom. My mom has two children. There's my older half sister, and then there's me. We are 5 years apart. We don't, we're not, Me and my other half sister, we're not talking to each other, and I haven't talked to her in years, but I don't really care because we never liked each other. Um, I tried to be the nice young brother, and I always try to, you know, be kind and sweet and gentle growing up, but she wasn't at all like that. She was rude, disrespectful, condescending. She abused me physically, and then she also abused me sexually when we were little kids. So, yeah, we never really had a good sibling relationship. Um, it's kind of been kind of twisted. And she's always been kind of jealous of me for some dumb reason, which I'll get into right now. So, my mom and my father met in LA. When, where, and how, I don't know. But they were seeing each other, and eventually they had me. Now the thing is, I don't know why my father thought it was a good idea to be with a lady with a child already, but he probably wasn't thinking too much. And my mom had me because this is my own theory, but I think she had me so that she can trap this guy to taking care of her, my half sister, and me, which failed, completely failed. Yeah, my mom is not smart. She's not smart at all, and she's not kind at all either. So yeah, that's that. So my father wanted to actually raise me. He actually wanted to be in my life, from what I can tell from what other relatives have told me. Him bringing gifts to me and spending time with me. And my half sister even said that she thought that this man was going to be her new father, was going to be her father. But no. And that's why she was jealous of me. Because not only did my father want to be in my life, and I know more about my father than she does about hers, but it's also because my father didn't want her. So that's one of the reasons. Those are some of the reasons why my sister was really aggressive to me growing up, and it was always bitchy to me. She was always rude, disrespectful. She would always push me whenever we're walking close to each other. Like, we would be walking down a hallway, right? And there would be some space. She would always just fucking go like that. And we'd always fight. So that should tell you why I don't really care about my family too much. And my mom had to become the provider, right? But my mom wasn't educated enough, and she was an illegal immigrant. So she was limited on how much income she can make. So we had to live with our other relatives who are also dysfunctional. My aunt, my mom's older sister, this is the lady that is the head of the household. She's a narcissist, controlling and manipulative. She married a child lover, and her older son is also a child lover, and her only daughter, because she's only had one son and one daughter, is just a narcissistic as her and manipulative. And that's who I was raised with. Now, if you think that kind of explains why I am the way I am, I hope you can give me some grace because it's not my fault. I didn't have a good role model for women and I didn't have a good role model for men. So I was kind of just left to figure things out in my own way, through my own experiences and through my own perspective. And it took me a while to be who I am right now, but it took a lot of work to see things clear. Now, being in this type of household and being the youngest is not healthy because since this family is dysfunctional, they don't have the correct mental tools to deal with their problems. So how did they deal with their problems? They had an scapegoat. Who was their scapegoat? You're looking at him. Yeah. I was abused mentally and physically and emotionally by my family. My cousin, my older male cousin, would beat me. Not severely, but he would hurt me enough where he's satisfied. And then he would apologize about it and saying, I'm sorry, I didn't really mean it. This and that and that. And then, of course, being a little kid who had no one to really talk to or be around with, would be like, I forgive you because I was an idiot. And my older female cousin would manipulate me into being her servant, to agree with her in arguments and stuff like that. It's weird, pathetic shit. And I had to play along because if I didn't, she would just tell her mom, my aunt, who's the head of the household, a bunch of lies and would try to make me look like I was bad and I'm misbehaving and stuff like that. So that would just make my life harder. And I was already bullied at school. And I told my mom, but she didn't care. And she never went to the school to talk about it at all. So I never had support from my family. And I never really had support from school. So I never really felt like I belonged anywhere or to anyone. I don't even feel like a son. I don't even, and I mean by that, I don't really have that much affection for my mom anymore. I don't care about her anymore. She never even wanted me. She wanted a man to take care of her and her other child. It was never about me. I was never planned. I was planned, but it didn't go to her plan. So I was always affectionate towards my mom growing up. I would always say, Mommy, 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 and run up to her and hug her and try to get kisses and stuff like that. But whenever I would see her face, it was always like, Hola, Jared. ¿Cómo fue tu día? Like a forced smile, like a really awkward smile. And at first as a kid, I kind of just ignored it. But growing up, I felt it. I felt like the burden that she sees me as. I felt the disdain she has for me. And growing up, my mom never really took my side in anything. She never really supported me in any way besides providing food and clothes. That's about it. I would try to open up. she would just criticize and insult me. I would tell her about being bullied at school. She would tell me to deal with it, get over it. There's nothing I can do. But there was something she could do. She just didn't want to do it. And, you know, I'm glad that I'm not like my mom. And I'm glad I'm not like anyone else in my family. I'm glad I'm different from the rest of my family. I'm glad I'm the black sheep. Because I don't want to be a child lover like my other two male relatives. And I don't want to be a narcissistic manipulator like the females in my life. I'm glad I'm alone. And I'm glad I don't talk to my family anymore. And I'm gonna cut contact off with my mom because she doesn't really care. You know, she's helped me recently with some of my rent, but that's about it. I'm grateful that she had helped me, but her help comes with conditions. And I don't want to talk to her anymore because we have nothing in common. I mean, for most of my childhood, I would only see my mom in the mornings when it was time to get ready for school, and then at the nighttime when it was time for her to come pick me up at school at 8 at night. And this was elementary. In middle school, it was a little different. Since we lived with our other relatives, I got picked up by a car, but I was always picked up last, and I was always picked up around 5 or 6 or whenever they felt like it. So, and even when we had time alone together, me and my mom, we didn't socialize. We were on our own different times in our own different worlds, in our doing different things. You know, even when we did separate from our other family and cut up contact with them because my mom and my sister, that's a whole different story. But we separated from them, right? And even when we lived, all three of us together in a small apartment, it was horrible still. I mean, my mom, my sister would tag team me and would just fucking insult me and berate me and lecture me, and I just rejected all of it. I rejected it because I'm not going to listen to them. I told myself as a kid, a teenager, I'm not going to listen to them. I'm smarter than them. And I'm glad I didn't listen to them because my sister was a feminist and she tried to like brainwash me into being an idiot. And my mom would try to, also brainwash me, and I didn't fall for it. So, if you're a single mom and you're watching this, I hope you feel ashamed of yourself. And if you're like me, coming from a single mom, don't give up. Keep on trying. Keep on living. Don't depend on your family. Don't depend on your mom. Your single mom never loved you. I know that's hard to admit and hard to say, but your single mom didn't love you. She never did. And that's for me too. My mom never loved me. I was never someone. I was only supposed to exist so I can trap a man. Isn't that insane? I only existed because my mom wanted to trap a man. Like, wow. So, that's that. And I'm going to call it a night. Peace.